What's up, everybody? Joe White here, and I gotta tell you guys, the last few days have been crazy. I went from started off Friday in Vermont, and then came down to Memphis, delivered in Memphis this morning, picked up in Jackson, and now I'm heading back up to Quakertown, Pennsylvania. I'll probably be stopping somewhere around Knoxville tonight, former home of Smoky Mountain. Anyway, Smoky Mountain Wrestling, golly. I was only a little kid when that was going on, and they never came as far as Richmond. They just would not come. They came to like rural retreat, anywhere off of 81. That was maybe about 100 miles north of Bristol. They would go there, but they would never come toward Richmond or anywhere else. But I guess because Richmond ain't the Smoky Mountains. Anyway, enough of rambling for me from that. I want to talk about Will Osprey. Here's a guy who I have praised in the past. He's put on damn good matches in the past. But I've quickly learned that this guy is nothing but a teetotal mark for himself. And the cage match, this past Sunday or Saturday, whichever it was Sunday, wasn't it? Or was it Saturday? I don't remember. Who cares? That just shows you how much I care about this AEW pay per view. Um, it was ridiculous. It was even Brian Alvarez of Figure Four online and the Wrestling Observer said that the match started off great, but it quickly turned into ridiculousness. 25 minutes or 20 some minutes of a cage match, and 10 of it were absolutely great. And then the second they just, oh man, it just quickly went downhill. The second Mark Davis came in, and they always say, oh, cage matches in wrestling, you know, defeat the purpose of the gimmick because it used to be that it was to keep the people out. Now it's okay. How are they going to get in? And that's true. And the one that took place last night between CM Punk and Seth Rollins, which was the better match of the two, I thought. They, both had people interfering, but however, you didn't have people cutting off the damn shit with bolt cutters. The door was already open when Roman Reigns came in there. Anyway, in this case, the cage was used to blow off a feud when it really, it's going to keep it going. But I digress. Will Osprey. Will Osprey. He did an interview with Chris Van Vliet recently, or at least Chris Van Vliet posted a few clips from it. And, you know, this guy, there's one clip where they mentioned that he has 44 5-star matches, and he's just laughing and marking out. At the same time, he's sitting there going, I don't even look at it anymore. It's just the internet. I go out and have these matches, and then I go, well, what's the internet going to say? Why the fuck would you care what Meltzer says? Why in the hell would you care? You got yourself a big fat contract now. You got the money in your pocket. You don't need to do this every fucking night to yourself, dude. You don't need to sit there and worry about what the internet thinks anymore. You got your money. Now, as a worker, do you want to put on a good product for the people? Absolutely. And I support that. I want to see good wrestling matches. But when it comes to letting Dave Meltzer tell you whether or not a match is good or not, the old man's slipping. Okay? You gotta less and less weight can be put into what Dave Meltzer thinks about you and your matches now. But that's not the real thing that turned me against this guy. Because in a matter of 24, 48 hours, whatever, between the cage match and then this clip I'm about to show you, it really kind of turned me against this guy. It really has. It was well known that he signed with AEW because he did not want to move his family to the US. And I said then, dude, keep your ass over in the UK and in Japan then. But the Snowman, Tony Khan, and AEW are stupid enough to waste their money on a plane ticket to fly this guy back and forth every few weeks. It's not a cheap ticket to go from London, England to whatever damn town they're in. Then you got to pay for the guy. I'm sure the guy ain't paying for his own rental car and his own hotel. Here, this is a guy who probably has everything paid for. He probably had it in his contract. I want everything paid for. And he probably got it because the Snowman was probably on line 7 by the time that daggone, conversation went down. He was on line 12 by the time the ink dried on the contract, and then he probably tried to snort that too. But I want to play for you a clip of what he said about not wanting to move to the U.S. This is from an interview with Chris Van Vliet. Take a listen.
I know from talking to you enough that living anywhere in the U.S. might grate on you a little bit.
No, it's not like I have a weird anxiety with it. I don't like fully. When I lived in Japan, I had a mad anxiety with it, but it was so much like England where like the public transport systems, I could get to Osaka and I could get to Tokyo, I could get there. As my centre bed was Tokyo, it was super easy for me. America's not really like that. You got to fucking fly everywhere.
What's big?
So like it's huge, dude. And I think that like once again, it's an anxiety coming here. It fills me with like nerves because if like one thing goes wrong, I feel like I break as a human being. So like it's just for me personally, I don't fancy doing it. But like, will it happen eventually? Maybe. But like I'm doing my best to not move here.
You're doing your best to not move here. Yet you come over here, you take our fucking money. You're taking a job away from somebody here in the U.S. that could be on the card where you're at. All you do is a bunch of illogical, nonsensical crap, like what was in that cage match Sunday night, Saturday night, whatever it was. But you don't want to move here. You don't want to, dude, I'm sorry, but keep your ass over in the UK, with this. I get so sick and tired. He comes from that generation of, oh, I gotta blame everything on anxiety. Everything gives me anxiety. Everything makes me anxious. So I want to stay in my safe space. And I get not wanting to uproot your wife and your stepchild. I get that part. But also, you got to remember, Shinsuke Nakamura uprooted his wife and 2 kids, I think it was, to come over here and live, and because he wanted them to live here and get them the American dream, which he's now living. And I know, it's not everybody's aspiration to move here, but dude, you got no problem. You're not anxious enough to take our money. You're not too anxious enough to make Tony Khan pay for a plane ticket to fly you in and out of here. You're not too anxious enough to take that spot on that card that you haven't really earned. You haven't really earned it. You haven't paid your dues in this country. So I'm sorry, and I know there's going to be a lot of people who stupid like Joe White. He's an international superstar. He made a good day for himself in Japan and England. And I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. There's a lot of people who are here local in the U.S. could do what he does, do it just as good as he does. Anybody could have fucking, jumped off the steel cage, landed right on their damn hip, limped backstage, do a bloodbath, do screwdrivers and barbed wire, and do broken, goddamn thumbtacks. And it's just that cage match right there just totally turned me off on this guy. It'd be totally different if he came over here and actually made sense with what he does. But that cage match, compared to the cage match we had last night, it's night and day. And I'll choose the one from WWE over that bullcrap. The only thing I did not agree with is you're on Netflix and we're still blacking out and censoring middle fingers and language. That's the part that mystified me. But anyway. That's my thoughts on Will Osprey. And I know I'm going to get a lot of comments, like from especially the UK idiots. I'm going to get a lot of, flack from them. But I don't care. I really don't care. Again, keep your asses over there, just like I said in my other video. They'll come to you eventually. If even more so, they're coming over there to you guys. They got the entire run to WrestleMania is going to be taking place in England this year, or over in Europe. They got Belgium, they got Spain that they're running, they got England that they're running. I think Ireland's getting a shot. I don't know, but regardless of which, they're going across the damn pond for a whole month. You know, keep your asses over there with your beach balls and your stupid soccer chants, and it's so stupid. I cannot begin to tell you how stupid it is. It makes wrestling fans look less than. It really does. It makes the overall sport, if you will, the overall art form, if you will, look stupid. It doesn't matter how many C-list and B-list celebrities are cheering you on in the crowd. The common person sees that for the very first time and goes, "Oh my God, how stupid!" That's what's happening when they look at AEW. That's why I say there is no casual fan anymore. Anyway, folks, we'll see you down the road.
Hi, I'm Gorilla Meltzer, and I was going to, only eat half of this lasagna, but, plans changed.